Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome to the Fantasy Forecast for Friday, March 18th, 2016. As far as reviewing results from yesterday, it was a loss. I'll just go there. If you want the details, you can go ahead and ask me. It was around a 277, 278, or something around there, 280, but you needed around 299 to cash or so. Again, 50-50s were easier to cash because it was a bigger slate than the, 1s and 2 GPPs and going up. So you remember that on the bigger slates, guys. If you're really looking for lower cashing lines, always go for those 50-50 entries and those double ups. Moving on, we have our 8-game slate for today, and looking in front of you is the Roto Grinders optimal lineup for today. Roto Grinders has for us at point guard Lillard, Frazier. At shot guard, Harden and Bryant. You really need to watch that Bryant news if you guys were going to copy this. I don't know if either he's going to want to play the Suns. Durant and Beasley at the small forward. Nowitzki and Ibaka at power forward. And Pachulia at center. I don't know why you wouldn't be thinking Bayumbo at center, and I'll explain those picks in a moment. Frazier as well. I think he's in my optimal too, so I'll talk about him in a moment. Okay, right here, this is Roto Wire, and Roto Grinder, by the way, was projected at 314. Now this one is projected only at 260. Now I don't know why theirs are coming up so much lower, maybe because so many people are pulled and they're going off season averages or something. However, this is their optimal lineup for today. They have Smith and Knight at the point guard, Harden and Matthews at shot guard, Morris and Beasley at small forward, Davis and Thompson at power forward, and Towns for the center. And RotoWire again is projecting that at 260. Okay, moving on here. You're now looking at RotoQL. However, RotoQL had an interesting one for today where Norris Cole was included in their optimal lineup, and I had to do a modification of that and still use RotoQL. This took some finagling, guys, but this is RotoQL's lineup without Norris Cole. You have Darren Collison and Tony Douglas at the point guard. Douglas is interesting because I don't think Douglas is getting the start over there anymore, guys. I'll explain in a second. So I will be watching that Tony Douglas pick. We have DeRozan and KCP at the shot guard, Caldwell Pope. I like KCP better, it's easier. I have Wiggins and Beasley at small forward, Davis and Speaks, I don't know, at power forward, and Cousins for the center. Cousins is obviously your best center choice, but far and away for raw points, but you may be able to do better on value at different spots in the slate. But I will not deny Cousins is probably the best raw value tonight there. And that was RotoQL. Okay, right here, guys, you are looking at fantasypros.com. Since they had a couple good ones lately, I decided to include them in again. They have Westbrook. Oh, I'm sorry, no, this is Daily Fantasy Cafe. They have Westbrook and Holiday at the point guard, Matthews and Levine at the shot guard, Barnes and Gay at small forward, Davis and Cauley Stein at power forward, and Drummond for the center. And they're projecting this at 305. And that last RotoQL lineup was projected at 314, guys. Okay, so the last one here is going to have to be Daily Fantasy Cafe then. Or Fantasy Pros, I'm sorry. Fantasy Pros here. They have Reggie Jackson, Russell Westbrook. It says game time decision, but Jackson is playing today, guys, so don't worry about that. Kobe Bryant, however, is still a question mark, so I would be watching that quite carefully. He's probably a swap out for Clarkson, I think, for the same price. Matthews at shot guard, James and Beasley at small forward, Love and Teletovic at power forward, and center is Drummond. Okay, so those are your 5 optimal lineups from different optimizers today. And you guys can look at those, kind of compare and contrast, see people are looking. This is my optimal cash lineup for you guys for today. I have Lowry and Lillard at the point guard positions. Guys, I've just gotten notice as I'm filming this that Lowry may sit today, so you're going to have to watch that news carefully. There's a lot of money right there at point guard, though, at 8,900. If Lowry sits, you have many options to move around to, so don't worry about that. Lowry and Lillard at point guard, Booker and Caldwell Pope at shot guard, Parsons and Gay at small forward, Noel and Harris at power forward, and center Biyombo. Okay, now let me explain there real fast. I took Lowry because Lowry with raw points on Toronto in that game, it's a high. Lowry should give you your decent floor. Same with Lillard against New Orleans in the other position. Even if it ends into somewhat of a blowout, Lillard will probably still get you 45 or 50 and pay you value. On these things, I'm not looking for the so much upside as I am the floor to get you guys the points you need to score. Booker against the Lakers, you want shot guards against the Lakers. Again, I don't think it'll be a blowout. Both teams are kind of crappy, so you should see some nice production from him today. Same with Caldwell Pope on Sacramento. I believe that game started even in Vegas, but it's moved way against Sacramento. I think it's 7 points favored for Detroit at the moment, but even 7 still isn't a blowout. And KCP should see nice time against Sacramento is particularly bad against the shot guard. They're bad against a lot of positions, but they're particularly bad against the shot guard. Parsons, you have Dallas against Golden State. He's on the wrong side of the blowout, and it's a high-scoring game, so I would expect Parsons will probably put up much of the heavy lifting for Dallas. Rudy Gay, I think people might be off him a little bit today, and he's on the proper side of the blowout, but again, on the wrong side of it, according to the way it's been moving. But I still think it's somewhat even. I still see scoring, and I still see him as a center of work right now. Injuries are starting to hurt all the teams across the NBA right now. Same with Noel there in Philly. He's still dealing with Jeremiah Grant coming in, but it doesn't look like he was getting full minutes. You still have Covington out. You still have Holmes out. I mean, things are just still not pretty down there, and Noel is being asked to pick up a lot of workload. And against OKC, a nice higher scoring game. I mean, yeah, OKC is going to beat them, but Noel should still put up his nice points and give you the floor you need for a cash game. Harris, same kind of thing against Sacramento. It's not as good as the shot guard position, but I mean, it's still the power forward position. It's like, and Sacramento they have horrible defense. All right, and Biyombo, guys. Biyombo is in there because Valanciunas last night sat unexpectedly, and it looks like he might sit again. And in his absence, Biyombo, who becomes the center, picked up a ton of minutes. Now, guys, I want to show you the game log real fast here, but there's an interesting stat about it. See, he showed 42 minutes and 50 FanDuel points. It looks amazing, right? Well, the thing is, that was an overtime game, though. I see it as highly unlikely he does another 42 minutes, and I don't think he's going to get 50. But, I mean, look at the stats before, and then before that. If he runs anything similar to those lines, 27, 28 minutes, and Valanciunas isn't starting, you're looking at a 27, 28-point play, and it doesn't matter if he's going to be highly owned. You need a 7-point value to fit other stuff in. Your other choice to hit 7 times value tonight is when you start looking at the center position. Let's try to edit that up a little bit. I mean, it's going to be not pretty. Like I was saying, you got Boogie maybe at the top, but Boogie's going to have to hit 7 times value, get you 77 points against Detroit. Town at 7 times value, I mean, he's going to have to give you almost 60. Drummond, 55. Maybe that's a possibility. Maybe. I mean, it's a higher scoring game and saying sack him, but Cantor at 53, you start to get to more of the realm of possibility because a guy might be able to put up 36, 37 points, and it's against the Sixers. But that's why people are going to be on Biyombo today, because they just don't have a lot of choice in terms of value. Same thing over here in your point guard position. If Lowry ends up sitting, I mean, you got to look at Rondo. Rondo might play, but if Rondo sits, those sack plays become good again. J. Rue Holiday's in a nice spot, and you could spend him somewhere else if you find out Lowry's resting last minute. Rubio looks okay, and he tends to be forgotten a lot of times. Russell will end up with more time if Kobe sits. It's a stay away if Kobe plays. Cole certainly looks like he's out today. I don't care what anybody says. Let's keep going. But down here, okay, so I was mentioning, okay, Jennings. Jennings will probably get the start again today if Elfrid Payton's out, but notice that FanDuel's already adjusted him up from minimum price to $4,700. He's less of the great value now that he was before. Tony Douglas has moved up too because he was getting starts, but that might no longer be the case as you start to scroll down and see who got the start yesterday. Yesterday, our man Frazier got the start, and he's expected to draw the start again. And look what happens. Guy almost has nothing, but yesterday gets the start in 27 minutes, pulls up 14 points and 33 FanDuel. If he gets the start again, guys, and does 24 minutes, you're looking at a great value at point guard for Frazier. And that can build you up for other players as well. So that's why one of the optimals was on Frazier earlier, if I didn't mention that. Okay, and I've already mentioned my own, and why you should start thinking about possibly not taking Tony Douglas. And Jennings, I think, is still a good play. They might not have fully caught up with his value yet in terms of the minutes he's playing with Alfred Payton out, but the price has definitely gone up. At 3,500, you wanted that FanDueling. At 47, almost $5,000, they got good at his value quickly there. All right, guys, so that's pretty much it. I'll move back over to my ideal cash lineup for today. Oh, it's right there again. I didn't change it. Okay. We have Lowry and Lillard at point guard, Booker and Caldwell Pope at shot guard, Parsons and Gay at small forward, Noel and Harris at power forward, and center is Biyombo. Real fast, let's go into the lobby and see what contests are available, guys. Okay, now your 50-50s, like I've told you, you'll want to enter these $1 ones. It makes a lot of sense. Just go ahead and drop a $1 entry in there. And you'll find it disappears off your thing once you've entered it because you're only allowed one entry into that league. So do those 50-50 single entries. That's going to make you the most money today. You can also look at multipliers. I would do these multipliers, these double ups for $2 that have 500 people entering them but are single entry as well. And then if you're going to play tournament, go for the smaller tournaments today. They'll have lower cashing scores. The NBA SWAT right there is a good way to go. And the $2 shot as well right there. All right. And as you move up, guys, you can go into satellites and other things in the $5. But, I mean, if you want your best chance at cashing, the $1 and the $2, wherever it is, there it is. And it says M for multi-entry, guys, and that's how you know it's a multi-entry. Versus in the 50-50s, you'll see no M next to it. It's a single entry game. All right, I'm going to focus in on today's featured cash lineup. I hope you guys all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend planned and coming up. I hope you have a great night. Go out there and go win some money, guys.